Tonight, the Omicron variant has reached the United States. International students fear they will not make it home for the holiday season.
And learn more about Hampton Police dashboard cams.
Plus, 2 break-ins at university-owned housing. Do students feel safe living off campus? All that and more right now on the Q30 Newscast.
Good evening and welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Samantha Pirelli.
And I'm Jack Main. Happy December, Bobcat Nation. We hope you all had a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Per usual, we start our show by updating you with Quinnipiac's COVID dashboard. After students return from Thanksgiving break, the numbers have shown a decrease from 39 to 20, making a total of 129 cases since the semester began.
The CDC is still recommending that all individuals 18 years and older get a booster shot along with the flu vaccine. A community update email from the university announced that they're looking into having a booster clinic in January. After hearing about the COVID dashboard at Quinnipiac, let's head over to the COVID-19 update in Connecticut. There is a total of 1,093 active cases with a 5.37 total of daily positivity rate, and there are a total of 385 people hospitalized.
With the new Omicron variant causing border closures, many international students will have added stress to the end of their semesters. Luca Triant spoke with members of Quinnipiac University to get their questions answered about the new COVID variant.
A new strain of COVID-19 has been identified in South Africa. Labeled as Omicron, the variant has been spreading across the world and has finally reached the United States. However, the question for Quinnipiac students is, will this new variant reach the university? For the school's senior medical advisor, Dr. David Hill, for at least a few weeks left in the semester, there is little risk from this new strain.
I don't think it's going to affect Quinnipiac, prior to Christmas break. So in the next 3 weeks, I think we will be not dealing with Omicron. But we'll see what happens when the first isolates are recognized and then how they're spreading in the U.S.
While Quinnipiac may not be struck before the end of the year, there is still more to think about with this new strain. It's been 2 years since the world has been plunged into this pandemic, and despite initial hopes, the new variant means that this virus won't be going away anytime soon. Students spoke about how they think the variant will affect them.
My hopeful thoughts are that it won't really affect us because, we had most of our students vaccinated. If everyone kind of stays diligent on campus, tries to, wear their masks inside when they can, I feel like that will help a lot.
For Dr. Hill, the procedures and policies in place at the school will most likely stick around for the near future.
I think the masks are with us. They're probably a small price to pay for continuing the freedom of interacting on campus and having in-person classes and social events and athletic events.
For Q30 News, I'm Luca Triant.
Booster shots are recommended for adults 18 years old and up. Those who got their J&J vaccine 2 months ago or their Pfizer and Moderna vaccination 6 months ago are eligible for the booster shot. You can get it at your healthcare provider, a vaccine clinic, or participating pharmacies. Any of the 3 COVID vaccines can be taken, the booster shot regardless of which vaccine was taken originally. Governor Lamont is urging everyone, saying, quote, if you're over 18, go get yourself a booster shot right now if you haven't had one already. I think that's the right thing to do. Other states around us are getting a little more infected. We are not an island. A booster shot will really protect you, your family, and our state, end quote.
3 break-ins have been reported in the last 2 weeks at university-owned off-campus housing. Public Safety and Hampton Police responded to 911 calls. Jesh Bridge Roz caught up with students in public safety to see how they feel off-campus living.
Within the last 2 weeks, 3 attempted break-ins happened at Quinnipiac University's off-campus owned housing on Kimberly and Westwoods Road. While none of the burglaries were successful, some students still have concerns. Chief of Public Safety Tony Reyes sent out 2 emails informing students of the incidences. The first attempted burglary was on November 16th, and the third only came out 9 days after, on the 25th.
Yeah, obviously it's very concerning, like, the rest of our community. It's something that rocks you. It's something that concerns us. For those of us, in public safety, it's particularly concerning because, we take a lot of pride in keeping our community safe.
The suspect, later identified as Adiel Viana Ribeiro, from the attempted burglaries on November 16th, was charged on 6 different accounts, including burglary first degree, criminal attempt to commit burglary first degree. An investigation found Ribeiro targets women that he has delivered food for an app-based service. Police are still looking for the person involved in the second attempted break-in on November 15th. Reyes says that the Public Safety Department plans to be more present in the off-campus areas.
Working with our communications department to do a better job of preemptively providing safety tips to the community, not waiting for an incident to happen. Make sure that safety is on the forefront of everybody's mind.
A second-year student says while she is nervous, she still prefers living in university-owned housing.
Feel more comfortable living off campus. Having it be my first time in a university house as opposed to a house I would rent on my own, just because of that we do have that security. But the fact that all of these break-ins are happening does make me a little bit more nervous about it.
I'm Jess Bridgeraj for Q30 News.
Hillary Haldane, a professor in the anthropology department at Quinnipiac, has been appointed to State Council of Sexual Misconduct Climate Assessment. Q30's Hepzibah Rajan spoke to Professor Haldane about the rates of sexual violence on campus and how it is necessary for it to be properly reported, not only at Quinnipiac, but in Connecticut universities as a whole.
It was a student effort to get Connecticut colleges and universities to have to document and think about addressing the rates of sexual violence and other forms of harm on their campus.
Quinnipiac is no longer allowing a Spanish minor. It is now a Spanish studies because the university wants to expand students' diversity within the Spanish language. Q30's Vanessa Blasi spoke to Maddie Colavolpe, the College of Arts and Sciences representative for Spanish majors. Colavolpe expressed the university making this decision so that students can have a variety of classes rather than just the requirements. They want students to understand the culture as well as the required classes that they're taking.
I think it's because they want to give a more wide variety of the Spanish overview rather than just taking your basic language courses. They want you to know about the culture. They want you to know about the literature. They want you to kind of have a wide breadth of examples of the whole Spanish.
Planning on bringing a car to campus next semester? Parking permit applications for spring 22 are due on Friday, and off-campus students will be required to pay a $90 fee. There are exceptions for students who cannot afford the parking fee. Check your Quinnipiac email for details.
Since Hanukkah began this past Sunday, there will be a service on Friday, December 3rd at 5 p.m. After the service, just across the street at the Peter C. Harold House, students are invited to celebrate with one another. Quinnipiac is ranked in the top 60 for private universities that Jewish students choose to attend to, according to Hillel International. Katie Cohen spoke to Rabbi Rena Judd about how she has been working with the university to make Jewish holidays more prominent at Quinnipiac.
Every Friday that school's in session, we have a Shabbat. And every Shabbat Hanukkah, we have this party. We have close to 30 kids coming. That's a lot. So we have a fun time. That's what we do. Just thinking about it now, this is the first year no Jews ever kvetched that they went and there wasn't a menorah. That's a big thing.
Before we cut to our first commercial break, we still have so much more to cover.
We have a story on the SGA first-year meet and greet with Quinnipiac students and an update from Katie Cohen about politics.
But before we go, Matthew Juronsik is here to give us a weather preview. Matt?
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Jack. As you can see, we have a high of 43, 49 here. It's going to be a little bit of a overnight rainstorm, but nothing that should affect your commute. You have a high of 56 tomorrow. You get a warming trend with a low of 37. And Friday, you have a high of 43 with a low of 29. We will have all this and more coming up right after the break.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer. She's on the honor roll. She's just not the type.
No way.
No way. No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced House Hunter. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Thank you for sticking with us. First year of the Student Government Association hosted a meeting yesterday, November 30th at 11 a.m.
Avriel Evans attended the meet and greet that gave students an opportunity to voice their thoughts and concerns on how to make improvements on campus.
Yesterday, SGA hosted a first-year meet and greet where first-year SGA board members were able to interact with the student body. The table held items for students who came up and wrote their messages as to what they would like to see out of SGA. First-year SGA Senator Sean Pimentas says that the purpose of the table was to get to know the students they represent and their problems.
The purpose of the table today is really to get to know our constituents, right? To get to interact with members of our student body, to get their opinions on things. We really want to try and represent our constituents in the best way possible. And we can only do that through face-to-face conversation.
The table had various first-year SGA board members. This gave them an opportunity to engage with students on a larger scale.
I have had the chance to interact with some members of the student body. Definitely not on a large scale as we're trying to do today. Typically, it's conversations that I get to have in the residence halls or with classmates, but today we're trying to get out there.
Students were able to write down the changes they would like to see in the school. Some of the changes included improving the quality of food and the commuter experience.
I want to see more improvements on the quality of food here. I feel like a way that they can do that is maybe hiring students potentially to help make the food in the cafeteria. Just a lot of the commuter parking, I always hear complaints about that.
Pimentas says that the feedback is welcomed and that it is needed to address their complaints with administration to come to a favorable outcome.
We really want to hear what students have to say, what students are concerned about, and then we want to voice those issues so that we can get them taken care of, share the ideas with administration.
Reporting for Q30 News, my name is Avriel Evans.
COVID-19 booster shots are becoming more widely distributed, and the FDA must decide if they are safe for younger teens. Katie Cohen is here with our political update for the night with more on this study and more.
Thank you, Sam and Jack. Let's get started on what's going on right now in the world of politics. To start off, Pfizer is expected to seek FDA approval for another age group of booster vaccines. Currently, only those over the age of 18 are eligible for the booster shot 6 months after their second Pfizer dose. Pfizer is expected to ask the FDA to approve booster shots for ages 16 and 17. With the new Omicron COVID variant, President Joe Biden encourages all eligible to get their booster shot. Dr. Anthony Fauci made a statement on Sunday saying he hopes scientists will be able to determine soon whether the Omicron variant is resistant to current COVID vaccines. Moving to some news in the Capitol, yesterday an appeals court met to decide whether or not to give Congress documents related to the January 6th insurrection of the White House. Judges heard from lawyers of former President Donald Trump in the House of Representatives who requested these records as part of its investigation into the Capitol riot. Trump sued to stop the National Archives from releasing the documents that include call logs, handwritten notes, and drafts of speeches from the day of the insurrection. If these documents are not given to Congress, this will overrule President Biden's decision to hand over the documents. And finally, today the United States Supreme Court heard the appeal from Mississippi, where the state asked to ban most abortions after the 15th week of pregnancy. If the court upholds this state law, this can lead to more abortion bans in the future, and even the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Lower courts have previously rejected this law, and it has now made its way up to the Supreme Court. Today in court, the conservative judges appeared to be open to upholding the new law in Mississippi after hearing arguments, but this will not affect any other states just yet. That is all the political updates I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you so much, Katie. We are about to go to our second break of the night, but stay tuned for Maddie J's 7-day forecast. Also learning about the Hamden Police's dashboard cameras in their cars.
And we will also receive a national report from Carly McManus. We'll be right back.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back to the Q30 Newscast. As we have just entered December, it feels like the cold is quickly sighting its way through.
Exactly. I'm starting to miss the 60-degree weather in November. But lucky for us, we have Matthew Gerontic in the studio to give us the latest weather reports. How's it looking this week, Matt?
You know, it's so. You know, you don't have to put away the jackets yet. You know, you might get your wish of a 60-degree day almost. But right now, let's just get to the map. As you can see, Torrington is a 34, Hartford is 36, Norwich is 33. It's a little chilly, so if you're going outside, make sure to wear a jacket. Danbury 39, New Haven and New London along the coast 39, 37. So if you are deciding to travel tonight or if you are deciding to go on a walk, make sure to bring that coat like I said. And heading into the 7-day forecast, Wednesday is a chance of 49, high of 49 with a low of 34. There will be some overnight showers, but like I said, nothing to affect your commute. On Thursday, a high of 56, we're seeing a warming trend, which is something that I think we all definitely need, with a low of 37. Friday is 43 with a low of 29. Saturday is 46 with a high of 28. And as you can see, the rest of the week is starting to, you know, teeter-totter with a 43-39, 56-29, and 40-31. That is all I have for you. Jack and Sam, back to you at the desk.
A change to police surveillance is coming to all police departments in Connecticut. Effective July 1st, 2022, all patrol members will be required to run a remote-operated dash cam and body cam. Hamden Police has been wearing body cams for a few years, but will upgrade 110 body cams and 35 dash cams at a near $1 million price point over the next 5 years.
An email that was sent out by the provost today stated that the Quinnipiac School of Education Department was awarded with the Council of Accreditation of Education Preparation, which is also known as the CAEP. The provost mentioned that being awarded shows the drive in being successful as a department and promotes equity and excellence in American education. Blackboard is what students and professors use to track and update students' grades and assignments. However, on January 2nd, there will be some changes to the system to improve the navigation on the site. The new updates will provide quicker access to information. Alongside that comes opportunities to use different types of formats on Blackboard as well.
As we mentioned before the break, the Omicron virus is considered to be an extension of the coronavirus.
Carly McManus is here to tell us a little bit more about what's happening worldwide. Carly?
Thanks, Sam and Jack. After almost 2 years since the United States has gone into lockdown, last week scientists in South Africa and Botswana detected a new strain of the coronavirus, otherwise known as the Omicron variant. Researchers think the Omicron variant could be the most infectious strain yet. Health officials have detected the Omicron variant in more than a dozen countries. The World Health Organization is posing the variant to be seen as a very high risk. There has been some very sad news out of the entertainment industry this past week. The legendary Stephen Sondheim passed away on Friday, November 26th at the age of 91. Sondheim was an American composer, lyricist, and he wrote many popular plays and musicals such as Into the Woods, West Side Story, Sweeney Todd, and many more. Sondheim was seen as one of the most important figures in the 20th century musical theater community. He had a way for telling stories through lessons and his work. Sondheim led a path through musical theater history for over 6 decades. Sondheim may no longer be with us, but his work will never be forgotten. With this Black Friday now behind us, the numbers show that this holiday season shopping had record-breaking numbers. U.S. shoppers are expected to spend up to $859 billion between this November through December in a study done by the National Federal Retail Foundation. 10.5% since the last holiday season. After a year of canceling plans and being cooped up in the house, people enter 2021 ready to spend. However, the sale numbers of Cyber Monday have significantly decreased, showing that more people are willing to go out and hit the stores. Buyers did most of their online shopping before the traditional holiday rush, so suppliers didn't run out that early. That's all I have for National this week. See you next week, Bobcats.
We're about to take our last break of the night, but before we go, we still have more to get to.
We have Big Ben Kane in the studio to give us the breakdown on Quinnipiac athletics, and we have a story on the annual quad lighting. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
We're back, and as promised, we have Ben in the studio tonight to talk all things sports.
What do you have for us, Ben?
Thanks, guys. January 14th, 2008, the last time the Quinnipiac women's basketball team scored over 100 points. Over the weekend, the Bobcats took on Hartford, hoping to end their 2-game losing streak, and boy did they do this. The Bobcats finished the game with 113 points, which is more than they've scored in the past 2 games combined. The Bobcats got off to a hot start, scoring 31 points in the first quarter and never took their foot off the gas. Quinnipiac was led by Curtier Haywood. 17 points is already impressive, but what's even more impressive is that she shot 100% from field goal range and the 3-point line. The Bobcats bench also showed up in this game, chipping in 67 points. In their final game before MAC play begins, the men's basketball team took on Brown University. The game didn't go the way the Bobcats expected, and they lost by a scoreline of 61-72. After just 3 minutes of play in the first half, the Bobcats went down by 11, and although they clawed their way back and tied the game at 21, the momentum was all in Brown's direction. The theme of the game was turnovers, and the Bobcats were not able to capitalize on their opponent's mistakes. Brown coughed up the ball 23 times. However, Quinnipiac were only able to score 22 points off these 22 turnovers, and a poor performance on the boards were the reason for the Bobcats' downfall. 8-0. Yes, you heard that right. 8-0. While this sounds like a lacrosse scoreline, there's still one more season full of sports until the lacrosse team takes the turf. So what team was this? Well, the 4th-ranked Quinnipiac men's hockey team took on St. Lawrence over the weekend and won in emphatic fashion. Goals from Cipollone, DeYoung, Chow, Smolanik, and Bongiovanni carried the Bobcats over the finish line. It's also worthy to note that this was the first hat trick of senior Ethan DeYoung's career. However, the Bobcats never seemed satisfied in this game and put on an impressive 38 shots on the goal. Quinnipiac now goes on the road for the weekend, where they will take on RPI and Union in ECAC play. Now that's all I have for sports this week. Let's send it back to the desk.
Ben, great as always. The annual quad lighting is back, and students were excited to celebrate another Quinnipiac tradition that COVID took away from them last year.
Honestly, it's really great that we can all gather around and get ready for the holidays again, because I feel like we were really robbed of that last year. And my freshman year I didn't go to this, so this is my first time at the quad lighting, and it's really just helps you get in the holiday spirit and bring everyone together. I think it's a great.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight's Q30 Newscast. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Q30 News. Check out our website at q30tv.com.
For everyone behind the scenes, the producers, and especially our guy Ben Kane, have a safe and healthy weekend.